On the 25th of April, Iran's state news reported that the Taliban had arrested 6 Iranian border guards that had entered Afghanistan, supposedly by mistake, and were later handed to the Taliban's intelligence department for further investigation. This friction is part of an emerging pattern that suggests deteriorating relations between Iran and the Taliban government that came to power in 2021. When Kabul fell, Iran's President Ebrahim Raisi expressed his optimism, stating that the US military defeat should become an opportunity to restore life, security, and stable peace in Afghanistan. Iran was one of the few countries that kept its embassy open when the Taliban took control, and early cordial relations were established through the Taliban implementing many of Iran's demands. Iranian interests in Afghanistan include refugee flows, terrorism, illegal drug trafficking, and protecting minority Shia Muslim groups. But 3 years since the Taliban took power, Iran's expectations are no longer being met. So far, the Taliban have refused to reform an inclusive government and have blocked ethnic and religious minorities from exercising political influence. The majority of positions in the Taliban's cabinet are held by Pashtuns or figures close to Pakistan, including members of networks such as the Haqqani. As an extremist Sunni group whose ideology is rooted in hatred of Shiites, the Haqqani group has opposed every pro-Iranian figure in the Taliban's government, potentially jeopardizing Taliban-Iranian relations. The Taliban has also failed in its promise to control the Islamic State, which was a significant basis of Iran's support and its efforts against anti-Taliban groups. Iran has become concerned the Taliban is using growing IS presence to its advantage, and is increasingly prepared to work with alternative partners to advance its goals in Afghanistan. And tensions are being exacerbated both by increasing border clashes that have killed several Iranian soldiers, and growing numbers of refugees fleeing the Taliban into Iran. Iran's Ministry of the Interior estimates somewhere between 5 to 10 million refugees, with many being deported right back to Afghanistan. Iranian hopes that the Taliban had changed its nature are fading, as the true face of Iran-Taliban relations seems to be gradually revealing itself. Following the US withdrawal from Afghanistan, the lack of a common threat has led to seemingly irreconcilable differences threatening bilateral relations, as the Taliban fear being controlled by Iran, whose power has grown since the US left the region. To resist this perceived threat, the Taliban is resolutely defying Iranian demands and may begin to seek alliances with anti-Iranian groups. For the full story, visit globalweekly.com. If you found this Global Weekly feature informative, then please like or share the video. And if you want to see more about the political and economic shifts that shape the world we live in, then subscribe and hit the bell for notifications.